Too good to be true? Well, that's the same thing I thought. But I have Diamond Property Merchants Limited representatives with me here this morning. They will explain every single thing to you. You can always tweet me at Trevor Mbija. Hashtag is AM Live and TV. If you have any questions, call in live anytime. We can always answer them right here with me. And I want to introduce my guest today. It's Edwin Kirwanga, Director Marketing and Corporate. That's at the Diamond Property Merchants Limited. We have Estelle Wanjikundungu. She's the Client Relationship Manager, of course, at Diamond Property Merchants as well. And Jane Wangeshi, one of their clients. They won the overall #1 position in top mid-sized companies, and you can take a look at the trophy. I have it with me if you thought I was kidding. But first up, I want to ask Estelle, did you think you would win?
Honestly, it came as a surprise, but a pleasant surprise. It was not expected at all. But I was there with Kuria Wanjao, and he kept asking me, what if we win? What do you want us to say? He kept asking and texting to our group, the group that we have. He kept asking, what speech should I give if we win? So it was really unexpected, but something like, for example, I keep telling Kuria, there's something inside of him that was telling him we were going to win, but he wasn't sure about it. But it was wonderful. It was just great.
A fantastic surprise.
Yeah.
Edwin, explain this to me like a 5-year-old child. How does this concept work? Because the first thing comes to my mind, it's too good to be true. Because I never even thought I could own a piece of land myself. But now I'm seeing the possibility of doing that, and I'm not a millionaire. So how does this concept work?
Perfect. Thank you very much, Trevor, for having us on AM Live. As you've asked, and I've been asked over and over again, how does it work? Is it really true? It seems too good to be true. The rate of returns on investment over 80–90%. I think no investment currently, stock markets, returns, talk about bonds, can actually match that. But yes, indeed, it's true. Why? Looking at two things. We're talking about agriculture. All of us are partakers of agriculture. Today in the morning, if you didn't take anything that has tomato on it, you're very sure maybe over lunch hour you will take one that has. Or if not, during evening you might partake of something that has tomato on it. But this is how it works. People have been investing in land over and over. The only difference is we've been buying land purely for speculation, and at the same time exerting pressure on this limited available resource. So what you've just done is to go back to the basic of land investment and try to put some value into it, because land is just a factor of production. So you're not only just buying this land, but you're putting a reason to the purchase of the land, and agri is just one of them. Of course, we have other reasons that we'll be discussing later on. So in this particular case, you buy up an eighth of land. It has a greenhouse. You don't need to worry about who will do the farming and the farm management, the agronomical support for you. You don't need to know what kind of seedlings, fertilizer and pesticide that will be applied. We have everything taken care of in the same. It's a gated community control development, in this case not of houses but greenhouses. So we have all the specialists on site to take care of it. So you buy the land, set up a greenhouse, do the farm management, and within 6 months the entire season is complete, we are harvesting and the market is ready, and of course you're cashing in. What figures are we talking about? An 8x15 greenhouse will accommodate anything between 500 seedlings thereabout. Okay. Let's do simple math. An agronomist will tell you that a single seedling upon maturity, if I'm talking about tomato, will give you 10 kilos of tomatoes upon maturity, because I'm harvesting for like 3 months. 90 days to maturity, I'll harvest for another 3 months. So if I had 500 seedlings, each seedling giving me 10 kilos, on average, that is 5,000 kilos. Call it 5 tons. Now we are guaranteeing a buyback straight from the farm, so that we can bridge the gap between you and the bulk buyers at 50 shillings per kilo. Because someone will wonder, 50 seems to be on the lower side, because the last time I visited a supermarket, I was buying at 80, 90, sometimes it skyrockets to 150 shillings. So 50 is the average across the whole year, to cover you for the ups and downs. But this could go up sometimes. It can go up, well, it might go down, well, depending on the demand supply chains. So if I'm buying back if I'm selling my 500 kilos, my 5 tons at 50 shillings each, that's 250,000. Face value. So again, we go back, of course, there are a few other recurrent expenditures. The moment I terminate season 1, after 6 months, I need to spill into season 2. So when I'm moving into season 2, there are a few other things that will come into play. Crop husbandry, seedlings, manure, pesticides for the next season, currently around 42,000 from my 250. Then of course we have the farm management, call it the farm services. You need water pumped agribusiness, to be precise, greenhouse farming consumes a lot of water. So right now we have the recurrent expenditure of pumping water to your greenhouse daily. So we have that coming in as a post payment at the end of when you're getting a check. So we recover service charge around 2,000. So basically from my 250,000 thereabout, the 50,000 on top will cover the recurrent expenditure. So you have 200,000 coming in. Hence the project will tell you stand a chance to make at least $500,000 every year from a single greenhouse. So you get 250,000 every season. You have 2 seasons in a year. That's $500,000 thereabout.
Okay, so that's $500,000 within a year. How much am I investing? What's the best deal you have, the smallest deal you have for ordinary 1 inches like me?
Ordinary 1 inches like you and me. Good. Right now you look at 2 things. Let's make an assumption you're opening a duka. There are 2 things you'll do. First of all, set up the infrastructure, then stock it up. So setting up the infrastructure in our terminology is buying the land. The land currently you're doing phase 3, and phase 3 will cost you 450,000. I need to mention very soon shall be launching phase 4, because phase 3 is almost 80-90% sold out within the past 3 weeks. So 450 you have a piece of land, but that is just the infrastructure.
How big is that land?
It's an 8 that's 50 by 100 that comes with ready fitted water and electricity on it. Good about it. So when you have the land now, you have your duka ready. So the greenhouse will cost you 290,000. And what comes with the 290,000? The structure, the seedlings, there's the full farm management kit, from the agronomical support, the farm management, the agronomical insurance. We are insuring against crop failure as well as vandalization. And of course, so you have the whole set. So 450,000 was the cost of the land, 290,000 was the cost of the greenhouse, and with that you're a fully fledged farmer. Of course, a mobile farmer in this particular case. Upon transplanting, turn on your money clock. 6 months down the line, you're cashing in your first returns.
So we are talking 740,000, and within the first 6 months, I already start having my returns of 200,000. Is
100,000.
All right.
Yeah.
Jane, how did you hear of Diamond Property Merchants?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me here. I was hearing them being advertised on media every morning, and I had no plans, but I thought they had planned a Saturday tour to the place. That was Bethany Phase 2. I called my friend and I told her, let's go and see what is this. Sounds so good to be true. So we went to Isinya, and at first I thought we would be very few because it was sounding too good to be true once again. So when we went there, I realized I need to look for the 10,000 first to book, because I couldn't believe the way we were so many. And to start with, ladies were more than the gentlemen. The first bus we went with, the first bus left us, but while I was waiting for my friend to come, I noticed the other bus, the first bus is almost a third of, 2/3 were men. So when we were ladies, sorry. When we went there, and I realized some people who had bought the pieces of land before the greenhouses were there, I confirmed it is true. I'm not this one person who just puts money without proper research and confirming. So when I went there, I had to look for the 10,000 from my friends, my good friends, to book, because we were all crowded to book the pieces of land. And I am in Bethany Phase 2. I'm waiting to be called by Diamond, and I'm sure it will work out.
All right.
I'm very confident.
Okay. When did you join them? When did you start this project?
The Bethany Phase 2, when it was being launched. Yes.
How far back was that? August?
August, yeah.
Okay. So you haven't started earning yet?
Not yet.
You've seen your piece of land?
Yeah, I have seen it. I have the document for it. And I signed up for 2 greenhouses, because it can fit 2 greenhouses. And I've never stepped there. So it will let you do what you want to do wherever you are, and you are earning on the other side.
Oh, Estelle, explain out to us, how does that fit 2 greenhouses before we take a short break here?
It fits 2 greenhouses in this way. A normal greenhouse is 8 by 15. So the entire piece of land, to maximize on the space, you can put 8 by 30. There you will maximize on the space and you will get double returns. So that's how it works.
But this is still on the eighth of the piece?
Yeah, it is on an eighth of an acre. Actually, if you get a quarter, you can put up to 6 greenhouses.
All right.
Yes.
So the only difference here, but the difference is that I have to put 290,000.
Yeah, an extra 290.
Because we have 2 greenhouses.
Yeah, but the returns also double.
All right.
Yes.
Let's take a short break here in the market. We're in the market. We're talking about very good deals here. I'm also trying to get my head around it because it sounds too good to be true. But we have a client who's been there, and we also have representatives from Diamond Property Merchants Limited. They'll be still explaining to us how do we go around the financing. And if you have any questions concerning this particular issue, just call in. This is In the Market.
In the Market, in association with Diamond Property Merchants.
Well, that's right. Diamond Property Merchants Limited officials are with me here. There's still a lot of questions, even some of them coming from my colleagues. But first, let me get to Edwin, who's the Director Marketing and Corporate. How did this whole concept start?
Well, a little bit about the company first, because the concept was born out of a need that was there in the market. Having been there for a couple of years now doing land, actually the brand itself is more than 15 years old, but 5 years actively involved in land selling. So a research was done, and out of the clients who had bought land from the brand 4 years back, 80 to 90% of them are speculative buyers.
Yeah.
What you do is, Trevor, you buy a piece of land along Thika Road. The much you'll do to it is just fence it, because you know it will soon appreciate in value. But after a while, as a business, we thought, is it really wise? Is it really beneficial? While to some extent it was beneficial, because one thing you're guaranteed that the value will always appreciate, as real estate has been, but we felt somehow we are unfair to the economy. Why? This land is a factor of production. We live in an urban center where food demand is always on the rise, housing demand is always on the rise. So we felt as a brand, continuously selling land purely for speculation was having a negative impact on the economy. Why? Because the young people who are graduating and they need a place to sleep, then soon enough we won't have a place probably for construction of homes. Why? Because Trevor and Edwin have all the available space under speculation. The foreign investors who are coming in to build up those nice estates won't have space for such, because if it's available, then to be too costly, because 80 to 90% of the space available is fully utilized under speculation. So we thought, for us to make sense in the market, why can't we reverse how we do or our approach to the market? Why can't we put some value to that land? Our tagline clearly said that we are the home of strategic land investment, meaning we're giving you land at the right price, right time, right place, and most importantly, for the right purpose. So we had two approaches. One was the agribusiness. For that person like me, that young person who just want to buy land, yes, I know I will soon become a homeowner, but I don't have the resources right now. But I want to build up the resources, and how best to do it is through real estate. So let me get a piece of land right now, start doing an economical activity on it, generate revenue from this land, as I mark time towards becoming a homeowner later on, because when I need to become a homeowner, I'll now convert this piece of land into that home, but I need money. So we did a bit of research, and what a good thing to come up with agri. And at first, of course, it was a bit untrue to ourselves. It's more or less unrealistic. So how will it work? So we did a bit of we took 2-3 months to just do research around it, plant the first greenhouses, get to see exactly when you're harvesting, how is the yield, how will the market come into play, get to vet our service providers. So you say there are contracts from large-scale buyers. Are they there? Can we see them? And after all was done and the homework was clear, and it was clear in our mind that this can work out, we launched out our phase 1. And trust you me, phase 1 was such an amazing booster to the market. We didn't really expect it. It was, I think, 500 plots still in it. That was better than the City 1. We were selling an eighth of land at 290,000, and it sold out as a concept, because at that particular time we are still setting up the borehole, we're still applying for the electricity, we're still doing the plumbing work and all that. So we didn't really expect that it will run that fast. We had an oversubscription that led into phase 2.
Okay. Yeah. And Estelle, where are these pieces of land, like one of my colleagues was asking earlier on? And then the other question that all Kenyans always ask, from my basic math, what I can see is 740,000, and I have a piece of land with a greenhouse on it. After the first 6 months, I start earning 200,000 after every 3 months following that, right?
No.
After every 6 months.
After every 6 cycles of 6 months.
Yeah.
But then the question is there a possibility that I may lose out? What if we don't have market for these things? What if my crops don't come through? Am I still going to get the money?
Our
then the fundamental question from all Kenyans, can we negotiate this deal? Unaweza nikatie kidogo iteremke? Kenyans always speak. Can we bring this to, how low can you go? What is the lowest you can go?
Okay, let me start with if we can negotiate the deal.
Yeah.
We know Kenyans are Kenyans, right? So what we do, because most of our clientele, they come in chamas, like our customer has said, mostly they are ladies, and ladies, they come together as chamas. So to give them a nice package, we offer them 10 plots. If you buy 10 plots, you get one free. So you can opt to have it as a plot, or you can have the price spread within the 10 plots, so that we give you a discount. And then on this issue of the market, our service provider, the person that we are working with, who are doing the greenhouse bit, they have a market. They've already been into this business. They've searched for the market widely, and they have both local markets and internationally. And just in case we might have a surplus, the company was thinking of opening a processing plant for tomato paste and tomato sauce. So that should not be a problem, because we have already seen that it could be a risk in the future, but it is catered for.
All right, hold on. Before we continue, we have a call online. Margaret, good morning. Margaret? Good morning, Margaret. All right, I think we've lost that caller. But then the other question is, where are these pieces of land, Edwin?
Okay, we have phase 1 and phase 2, both with phase 3 within Kajiado County, place we call Eldamat. After phase 3 is in Eldamat. Phase 1 and phase 2 are within what people from the Kajiado area will tell you to understand the place called Kito. I'm in Isinya town. From Isinya town, we have a bypass going towards Kiserian. Call it Kiserian Pipeline Road. So I'm only 1 kilometer from Isinya town, actually 2 kilometers from Isinya town. Then I branch off the main road, 8 kilometers from now the main Isinya Pipeline Road. So you get to a place called Nkito. That's where phase 1 and phase 2 are. Phase 3 on the other side is within Kajiado town, less than 4 kilometers from the main, the nucleus of the Kajiado, the epicenter of Kajiado town. There's a road connecting Kajiado to Kona Baridi. So we are only 3 kilometers from Kajiado town. A very, very nice, robust, vibrant area. Residentials already coming up. Actually, we are less than a kilometer away from the current sitting in MP. So either I'm setting up that greenhouse right now, and I want to set up a home in the next 1 year, the place is already habitable. Actually, most of the buyers are not even looking towards doing it for more than 2 to 3 years. I'm thinking, of course, I want to build my home away from Nairobi. Of course, we're used to the normal busy city life. I want to have a home outside Nairobi, where I'll drive probably an hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. I'm there on a Friday, spend my weekend. On Monday, I'm reporting back to work. Now, that's an ideal home away from the congested town.
Okay, let me take another caller. Magdalene, good morning.
Yes, I'm morning to you.
Yes, go ahead, your comment or question, Magdalene.
Okay. How are you?
Very good.
Yes, I want to ask a question to Edwin. Is it Kiranga?
Yes.
Yes, about this property. I can see they are doing a good job in transforming Kenyan lives.
Okay.
But what I want to know is that once I buy this plot, am I going to own it, or is it for the diamond where they are making money and then maybe they give me a bit of it? What I'm concerned is I want to know whether there is a title deed.
Okay.
And if there isn't, when is it going to be processed?
All right.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Magdalene. Paperwork. But before we come to that, then let me ask Jane here. Jane, what was the selling point for you before we answer Magdalene's question? What brought you into this concept? Because most Kenyans are very wary when they see deals that are very good.
Yeah, first and foremost, I could not believe that once I invest there, I'll not be going there to do any input. And considering I'm working, I was not going to put my money somewhere where I'll need to go. And actually, let me go back. The reason I liked it so much is that there is value added on this piece of land. Because to be honest, there are so many pieces of land that are being advertised all over the country. And the reason I picked, because the adverts were so many from many other different business people who are also doing what they are doing. But the reason I picked them personally myself is the fact that once you buy these plots, you just go away. You just go away and leave them to do their agronomical support, put the greenhouse, which is a venture I really like.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I chose to go and take them, test them, actually. And the fact that the plots are fenced, we will be many of us within that particular piece of land. So we can even pull the resources, all of us. We can go, many of us, and do the whole. For example, that one plot is taking 2 greenhouses. So I looked at it like that. Like, even if I am not able to put the greenhouse there, I would call up a friend. Yeah. We pull up the resources, and we join them together and stuff like that. Okay. That's the reason I chose to invest there.
All right.
And up to this moment, I'm not panicking.
Okay. Edwin, Magdalene's question, paperwork. Once I buy this piece of land, is it mine or is it owned by Diamond Property Merchants, and how soon can I get my title deeds?
Well, thank you very much, Magdalene, for the question. The land is yours. Our first approach is, you are a real estate investor to begin with. You are actually buying land. The agribusiness is part of the value addition. Just like time before, when you used to buy land and there's some promises to either have electricity done later on, have that road done later on, we're not selling that promises anymore. We are selling for you reality. So you're buying this land, it's yours under your name, with a title deed on it. So the agribusiness is just now a value add to make you start utilizing the land immediately. So later on, when you decide, okay, I'm done with agribusiness, I want to build, all you do is just to take away that structure and set up a home. Not forgetting the fact that you still have the serenity and tranquility of gated community control development. Because Trevor, later on, if you want to own a home, and I'm not talking about buying an apartment somewhere, I want my own home, my own gate, my own driveway, maybe with a roundabout and a water fountain, you need to have a piece of land, right? So this is the only place you'll do that, and there's still that control development bit of it. I'm not worried about, what will my neighbors put up later on? Are they setting up a church, a hotel, or a block of apartments, skyscrapers? No. With this particular case, the only thing you're buying in, I'm buying a future and peace of mind that we are in a controlled development, a gated community. Amenities, social amenities provided. I was actually reading a feature today on DN2 pullout that some of the factors to consider when some of the some of the negatives or some of the hindrances towards real estate investment. Infrastructure. I need to know, where is water? If I want to build my own house, how will I get water there? Driveways, roads, accessibility, is there a road? So we've not only provided you the main access road, but within the estate, access roads are there already done for you. Electricity to your plot, water to your plot, currently supporting your agribusiness. So what I'll be doing is just, I'll be uprooting the greenhouse and replacing it with a home. Okay. Yeah.
So a direct answer to Magdalene is that the land is hers.
The land is yours.
Is it fenced? Do I know this is my piece of land?
As it is currently, we have perimeter fencing and permanent beacons to every plot. So my plot is plot number 7. I have all my 4 corner beacons showing me that this is my plot from here and there. What I've seen others doing is, of course, while it chooses to be an open piece of land, some will decide to choose to fence theirs. The first thing is, of course, your greenhouse is still safe as it is because you've done the perimeter wall fencing. But some of us, like yourself, will choose, okay, mine is plot number 7, let me just fence it. So every time you want to bring your friends over, I want to come and visit and see the progress of my land, I'm coming through the main gate and opening the gate to my very own plot.
So I don't really have to have the entire money for the greenhouse as well. I can just buy the piece of land first and then wait for greenhouse later on. But then again, Magdalene wanted to know, how soon can she get the title deed?
Perfect. Allow me to just explain to you slightly about the process of title processing. So one is, once you purchase in bulk as Diamond, we have the mother title, which as a buyer you'll get to do your own search to confirm, is it really Diamond property on the title or who else is there. So once you purchase in and you pay your completion, the purchase price in completion, you sign your sales agreement and transfer documents, which we then launch to the county offices to have them transferred. In a normal case, this will take you between 60 to 90 days to have the fine, because we normally do them in bulk. We realize we serve over 2,000 to 3,000 clients. If we keep on transferring one upon receiving, the process becomes longer and a bit costlier. So we give a promise of 60 to 90 days from the date of completion of payment for us now to lodge them in as a bulk for transfers. And when they come out, of course, again, we give out in bulk. In fact, for this particular, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we shall be doing a title issuance ceremony for our phase 2 buyers who bought in August, who completely paid for the title. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, how I wish you guys can have us on board. Showcase that here as well. So the title is coming out in 60 days upon purchase.
Let's take another phone call here from Ronald. Roland, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead with your comment or question.
Okay, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Is it possible to move this project to other counties? Because it so happens that we have land in other counties in Kenya. We also have electricity and all this. Security and all these positive points that the panelists are talking about.
All right.
So my question is it possible to move it to other counties, or it's just limited to Kenya?
Thanks, Roland. Devolving diamond property merchants. You'll answer that in a bit, but Estelle, if one of my listeners is just, one of my viewers is just watching right now, they want to know, how do I get my hands on this piece of land? What is the procedure? And of course, as Kenyans, first we want to see it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Even when we go on air advertising, we really urge people to come see, because seeing is believing. And when we are taking people to site, especially now that we're doing a phase 3, we normally take a detour to phase 1 and 2, and people get really excited because they understand that this is not a rumor, it is actually happening, so it becomes easy to sell to them. And the procedure of selling is you get to call us or text to the numbers that are running through the screen.
Yeah.
And after texting someone, our able relationship managers will be able to take your call or call you back, and then they will put you in the list for the people to go to site. And then after that, then you can do a booking. Later on, you can come to the office. After doing your due diligence, you go do the search and what have you, and then come make the payments. We are not, our laws are not stuck on stone that you have to pay the entire amount. You can pay in installment. We have an installment package. So that's the procedure. And then
what is the best installment package for an ordinary mwananchi like me?
Okay, like for example, I'll use the phase 3 that we are doing right now currently. What we do is normally you have to put a deposit of, after booking, you put a deposit of 200,000, and then we give you the next 3 months to pay 100 installments of 100, and by the 4th month you'll have completed paying for the land. And then you can move on to the greenhouse.
All right.
And then upon completion, we'll issue you with a certificate of ownership as we process your title deed.
And you just mentioned that I have to send a text to 22002.
Yes.
And is that toll free, or am I charged for it?
The normal SMS charges.
Yeah. Just the normal SMS charges, and then I'll get a call from one of your people.
Exactly.
How do I verify this is one of your people?
The people normally, they'll call you. They'll introduce themselves, and then they will tell you they're calling you from Diamond Property Merchant.
Okay. And can I come there physically? Because the other thing is, there's always this issue of brokers in between.
Yes, you can come to our offices. We have 3 offices. Nairobi, we are at Biashara Street, a building called Ange Plaza. It's right in between the Bazaar and the Revlon. We have another office in Thika. It is in Marafika Arcade, opposite Tuskys Chania. And we have another office in Utawala, Leicester Arc building, the building that houses Family Bank. Yes.
And Edwin, Roland earlier on called and asked whether this can be devolved to the counties. Have you thought of what is the future plan?
Well, county edition, yes, we are coming. Either as a brand or the idea, because what we did was just to pioneer a move that is now being taken up. So even my clients, my buyers will tell you, my pitch has always been very simple. We're introducing you to a new idea, but it doesn't just end there. In Nairobi, you only have a piece of land, an eighth. Probably if you go back to a rural area, you have acres and acres of land. What has been happening in Kenya is we mostly depend or rely on rainfall farming, which in most cases does not really meet the demand. And that's why in most cases you'll find case of food shortage at the rural area and all that. I don't believe why that should be so when we are so much endowed with the vast virgin land. The only thing we need to do is to mechanize, put in a bit of do agri farming. I mean, greenhouse farming. A greenhouse can do well in Mombasa and Kisumu County, Kakamega, whatever it is. So it is, as a company, yes, we have plans to move to the county edition. Actually, our phase 4 that you're launching soon should be the last for Nairobians. Yes, of course. If you want to invest in Nairobi, phase 4 should be the last. Then thereafter, we're going back to re-strategize for 2017, and of course, county edition we are coming. However, as Trevor, you bought in that. So I'll tell you, first of all, for you to test the waters, buy in first, learn the trick from within, then of course engage our service providers, and they're well capable to go. Actually, they currently have other projects running across different counties for as far as Garissa. So once you've learned it from within, now copy paste the same and have it replicated elsewhere. The most important thing is you'll be providing a solution to an already existing problem to the economy.
Okay, let's take another caller here. Anderson, good morning. Good morning, Anderson.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Anderson.
Yes, go ahead with your comment or question.
Yes, I'd like to know how much does it cost to build the greenhouse?
Okay. Thanks, Anderson. You would answer that earlier on, but for the sake, you maybe just tuned in. So break it down again, the figures, from the land to the greenhouse to how much I'm supposed to get and at what point. Because that is the most important selling point here.
Okay, perfect. Anderson, the land will cost you 450,000. That's an eighth of an acre, 50 by 100. Additional 209. And to be clear, this is a negotiated price if you're buying within the diamond property concept. Of course, if you want to buy it on the outside, the price might vary, 250, 350, 400 thereabout, depending on the need and the location. But within our concept is 290. And what you get for 290, you get the structure, the agronomical support, the farm management, seedlings, the entire crop husbandry, the insurance that comes with it, both for the crop yield as well as the vandalization of the structure. So 290,000 is the cost of the structure plus the entire package.
Okay. I think one of the most important points is that I don't have to be there physically. Once I buy this out, I'll just stay home and let you do my side hustle for me.
Call it the ideal hustle, side hustle. I'm a former banker, and within the banking, my 8 to 6 was basically banking. So many a times we could come up with crazy ideas to invest, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to earn an income besides the main income. So call it side hustle. We've tried different things. We've tried wheat farming in Narok. We've tried rearing chicken. The most recent, of course, quail farming. And the most amazing thing about Kenyans is we always have a higher appetite for investment. Any new idea that comes into the market, we're always ready, willing to try. Whether it flies or not, we'll not give up. We are relentless. We'll try again and again and again. So for me, I define this as an ideal side hustle, whereby as Trevor, I don't need to stop broadcasting news. All I need to do is put in my money and forget about it. Come back and continue focusing on my main hustle as I make money on the side. Call it probably another retirement package of my own. I'm guaranteed of two things. One, my shamba will appreciate in value. That is given. It's mine. I have the title in the pocket. That is mine. Good. Then the agri-business, for as long as it's still there, my money will be coming in. So all I need to do is either expand on it, or if I decide to choose and just retain as it is, my money will come out. In whichever way, should there be a crop failure, I have insurance that will refund me 75% of the expected return. In this particular case, if a season was to give me 250,000 and there was a disaster and probably there was a particular pest X and all the tomatoes went down to the ground, the insurance company will refund me, compensate me. Or let's say probably there was whatever happened and the structure was vandalized, meaning now there's no yield, I'll not need to cough more money from my pocket to set up the second structure. It's already insured, which is done annually. So basically, this is an investment that I'm guaranteed to make money either way. There's no loss in here. So my land is still appreciating and I'm making money out of it.
And I can come and visit it anytime?
Anytime you want. So we have farm managers there who now becomes they're like caretakers. You get to get their numbers. So every time you need to go in, just you confirm, are you there? I'm coming with my pack. My friends are coming over. Can they come and visit? Good.
Before Estelle jumps in on this, we have a call online. Austin, good morning. Okay, we just lost Austin. Yes, Estelle. You want
Maybe
to jump
to add on to that, it is a side hustle and you don't have to worry about it, because the service provider that we have doing that job for you, that is what they do on a normal, on a daily basis. That is their job. And on top of that, you are creating employment opportunities for other guys, because they get to train people on the ground who are going to be managing your piece of land. So when you're at home or doing your other businesses, you don't have to worry about it because someone is dedicated to do that for you.
Jane, how was your experience like when you started this whole procedure? Did you do the search for the land? Were you scared at some point that maybe I'm dealing with a broker who might swindle me? How did you do this?
By the way, I took the risk because I never did the research. But first I liked the way they were organized, because the day I dialed the short code, which I as I said earlier, I had the first about them from media in the morning. So the day I dialed that number, somebody got to me the very day. In fact, I think it was after like 2 hours. I was called by one of them. She's called Wajiko Minor. She told me where they are. I didn't even know where they are. But the fact that it was being announced on media every other morning, and the Saturday when they were supposed to take us there was approaching, I said, I'm just going to take the risk. I didn't even do the search, which I already know how it's done. But when I did my little survey, like finding out who are diamonds, what do they do, where are they coming from, I discovered there was Bethany Phase 1. I did my own research, and they were having many clips on their website. So when I was called by this lady, she told me that they are going on Saturday. The best would be first I go and see. Seeing is believing. As we continue, as that morning came, first and foremost, they are very organized. They kept time. When we arrived there, some of us were the ones who were late. Most of the clients did not come in time. And I looked at so many Kenyans who are waiting there to go, and I am like, no, all this could not be wrong. So when we went there, I also discovered they are really supportive. They were all over. The guys who are doing the greenhouse are different from the ones who are selling the land, and everybody was trying to give us information. And I chose to invest because of what I was seeing from now Phase 1. And Phase 1 had gone very quickly. I took the risk and I said, let me try this one. I'm still waiting to get my check, and surprisingly, when I was not even thinking about it, the other day they called me and asked me to go and pick my certificate of ownership, which is in my custody right now.
And we have another call online. Madenge, good morning.
Good morning, habari zenu?
Salama sana. Uliza swali Madenge.
Niko na swali napiga kutoka Mombasa.
Yes, Madenge.
Mimi nilikuwa nauliza swali langu. Unajua sisi wa Kenya, katika wa Kenya wengi wamepoteza pesa nyingi kupitia kwa mambo ya properties, mambo ya land. Wengi sana kushinda section yoyote katika nchi yetu. Kwanza nasikia hapa akisema ati wako na thousands of acres kwa mashambani na wapi na wapi. Nilikuwa nataka kuuliza hii swali moja. Hizo acres mnazipata kwa nani? Mnazinunua kwa nani na mnazipata wapi? Ni za mnauziwa na serikali, mnauziwa na watu binafsi, ama ni za ambazo mwisho unanunua alafu inakugeuka unaambiwa hapa si kuuza? Hizo ndio swali langu. Nilikuwa nataka hizo thousands acres mnazipata wapi na tunazipata?
Sawa Madenge. All right, thanks Madenge. And by the way, just to mention, they were the #1 in the top mid-sized companies, and I want to show you their trophy just so that you confirm this is actually genuine and it's happening. They were the topmost #1 mid-sized companies awarded earlier on, and I wouldn't have them on my panel if they were not genuine. But Edwin, I want you to respond directly to Madenge.
Thank you.
Where are you getting all these pieces of land, or is there a possibility that once I buy it, then somebody else will come up and say this is my piece of land?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madenge, for your question. Now, as a land selling company, there's one thing that we delight in, and that is integrity. Our main core business, our 6 to 8 is land business. The most important thing about our brand is making sure that the brand lives on. So what we've done is what you call due diligence, part of the land buying process. So we invest on your behalf. And how do we invest? We invest our time and all our resources to do what you call due diligence. Today, a day rarely goes by without a Kenya probably calling the company. I have 70 acres, I have 100 acres, I want to sell. But of course, that's not our approach. As a home of strategic land investment, we know what strategic land is. So we are out there scouting and trying to see where is this strategic land investment. Is there probably a place where probably the university is coming up, we have bypasses coming up, and who are the owners who want to sell. Once you realize we have someone who's willing to sell, and to us that land is deemed a strategic land that has capital gain, now we'll embark on the homework, which is now due diligence, and we go over and beyond the current owner, who was the previous owner, what are any caveats on that particular land, and you have a fantastic team that has been doing that over the years. And over the past 5 years we've done this. Not even a single customer, we issue over 5,000 titles each and every single year. Not even a single customer has ever come in with an issue of, oh, there was double allocation. There is a difference here when it comes to buying land from a recognized firm, from that of buying from Jen. If I'm buying land from Jen, the process begins and ends at her meeting me, showing me the land and signing the documents, and probably giving the title so that I can go and do my own transfers. When it comes to land, a recognized land, there are things that you've done on your behalf. As a buyer, first of all, you might not even need to know where the registry is. You will never need to see the land commissioner. We've done all that. You don't need to know the transfer charges and the processes. We've done all that. And most importantly, more over and above that, you've done the due diligence for you. Land buying has its own process. First of all, before buying, you need to go and do a research on this title. Who is the current owner? Many a times, most of us have lost money because you do a search and realize this land is in the name of Edwin. Wait until you bought it, you realize there were other claimants on the same land. So as Diamond Property, bearing in mind that our brand is already there in the limelight, we are very careful not really to float to the market anything that has strings attached to it. So for all our buyers, those who bought before and those who are buying right now, can actually go to bed knowing very well that I'm dealing with a reputable brand that has done this for the past years, that I know my investment is worth every penny in it.
Hold that thought. We have Austin online. Austin, good morning. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead with the comment or question.
Okay, I wanted to know.
Yes.
Is it possible to get this piece of land?
Okay.
Hello, how are you?
Yes, Austin, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I was asking.
Yes.
Is it possible to buy this piece of land as a self-help group, not as an individual?
Okay. All right, Austin. Estelle, you already answered that question earlier on, but again, for the sake of Austin, just break it down for them. Is it possible to buy it as a self-help group rather than an individual?
All right. Thanks, Austin, for that question. It is very possible to buy as a group, because you can buy either as an individual, and the name you give us is what is going to appear on your title deed, and you will sign the transfer and the consent document. You might also want to own a piece of land as partners. You might also want to own a piece of land as a company or a self-help group, so long as you provide the relevant documents that we require. So it is very possible, Austin.
And then the other question has been financing. What if I want this piece of land, like I want to buy it right now, but I don't have all the money? Do you have an arrangement with the banks or someone who can help me finance it? Or is that just entirely my problem? I need to find a way of paying for it.
Can I take that?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, thank you. Yes, of course, there are financials. But if you go back to land financing, it has been the process or the current existing structures in land financing have been unfriendly to you, the land consumer, the land buyer. In that, if I'm buying a piece of land, my bank will first of all want to take the title, do the valuation, do the search, and do the charging, transferring, or rather having the name later on in our joint names, me and the bank. Now that works well when I'm buying acreage of land. When Diamond is the one buying, that makes a lot of sense, because there's a cost involved in all those processes. Trevor, when you're buying an eighth, it does not make sense to search an eighth, value it, charge it, and pay for all the transfers, plus pay the other transfer upon clearing your loan, not forgetting the interest expense that you'll be paying later on. So what we've done is we've gone over and above just linking you up with a bank that will finance, but we've got in like-minded financiers who are willing to do what you call deposits, simple deposits. The title is currently in the name of Diamond Property. So you're buying plot number 1. The title number for that plot number 1 is currently in the name of Diamond Property. So what you'll do, we'll link you up with this financier who will assess your ability to repay. And if indeed your creditworthiness can actually support the land, I mean it's only 400,000, they'll finance 90%. So they'll process your loan and deposit 90%.
Okay. Let me take another caller here. Wasuka, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Yes, go ahead with your comment or question.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for bringing Diamond Properties.
Okay.
My name is Kira Washuka.
Yes, Kira.
And congratulations, Diamond Properties. You have done a good job to get to top 100.
Thank you.
My first question is, what sets you apart from other real estate companies? That is the first question.
Okay.
The second question is, how long do I need to take before I get my title deed? And do you charge, am I given any other charges apart from buying the land?
Okay.
And the last question is, how can we interact with you people? Do you have events where you invite your clients to come and just mingle, bring their referrals and such like things? Or you're planning an end-of-year party for the clients?
All right.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kira. Kira has a set of 3 questions. Whoa. You will decide who is going to answer all that. But before you start answering, there's the issue of what sets you apart. There's the issue of how long does she take to get a title deed, and if there are any hidden charges, and how do they interact with the clients. But before you answer that, for Jane, what is your future plan with this? How far do you want to go with this your investment in the Diamond?
I have a very big dream. Thank you. I have a very big dream, and my future plan will be having several plots together. I wish I was able to do that during that time, but plans are still underway and the dreams. So my future plan is to, I just want the agronomy part of it, the greenhouse thing. And my future plan is to have so many pieces together and put greenhouses from the first one to the last one. Because when I look at what is happening in the greenhouse market, I feel that is the way to go. And I can...
you don't want to rely on the weather patterns that are just irate.
No, because it's
no rain.
Because it's controlled. And what I saw happening in phase 1, I don't have issues with the weather. Because the harvest will continue throughout, whether it's rainy or sunny. However the weather will be, it appears we will continue doing what we are doing from the time we started. Because, for example, I realized the time you enter in, your greenhouse starts from there. It doesn't matter what part of what weather is there at that particular moment. And the way they took us through is that when you sign up, your greenhouse starts from there within the next, I think, 14 days. And it starts whether it's raining or it's not raining, because it's a greenhouse thing and it is controlled. So
it's guaranteed that within the first 6-month cycle you're
exactly
earning your money.
Based on what I saw in phase 1. And the way they organize for clients to go there every other time when they are taking new people who are coming on board. So I have very big dreams for it.
And I know you spoke to most of the people also there. Have you had any complaints? Anyone say,
by the way, the first
no, then you're like, no, this is the one I was given.
The first time I arrived there, I realized there were no such issues. Like, it's like we were even competing to sign up for the commercial plots, because the guys who are in phase 1 had also come in phase 2 to see what was happening in phase 2. And we started mingling there. Mind you, we didn't know one another. Most of us, we were just hearing it from their adverts. And I never had any complaint, to be honest. And I'm a very good observer of reviews.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Edwin, which question do you want to answer from Kira? What sets you apart? How long does she need to get a title deed? And if there are any more hidden charges? And then, of course, there's the interaction issue.
I'll take the first one and the last interaction. But before that, I was still explaining on the financing bit of it before the call came in. So yes, financials are there, and we will not need to go through the entire process of charging and discharging, getting a bank to get your title. The title will still be in the name of Diamond. You will give it as a simple deposit or financial. Once you've cleared paying your loan, be it 12 months or 18 months or 24 months, the title will now be transferred under your name. But there's not that process of having it changing of names now into the name of the bank, then back to your name, which will cost you money for charging, doing the valuation and the searching.
So in simple language, once I express interest, a financial can actually help me buy this piece of land.
Definitely.
And then can I start paying this financial once I start earning? That's after 6 months.
Definitely must have ability to repay right now. They're looking at, do you have a source of income to repay right now? Most often or not, they use your current income. Be it I'm a business person or I have a salary. For the salary one, it's much more easier. And so you asked a question earlier. So what is the basic minimum? If you have a disposable income of at least 30,000, do you know a bank can finance you up to around 5 to 6 times of your disposable income. So basically, if my net right now is 40,000, 5 to 6 times of that is around 500,000. Is it 500,000?
Yeah.
Or thereabout, right? So basically, if I have a net of 40,000 right now, let me not look at the concept that this concept will cost me 740,000. Start with how much am I earning right now. So come and visit us. Of course, we'll take you through the discussion. We'll link you up with the financial. They'll evaluate your current income and see exactly whether it's good enough for them to give you 10% of the 740, including the greenhouse. And if the answer is yes, so you book with your 10,000 and the 10%, you hand your documents to them. They do the processing within around 5 to 7 days. They write a check to us, and you are the owner of the project. So you'll start paying month 1, 2, 3. The beautiful thing about it, on the 6th month, you might decide to start paying off the loan and cash clearing the loan with the returns. So return, the first return, pay off the second return, probably within 1 year you clear the loan, and now the structure is yours, the land is yours, and the investment is yours.
Let me take a call here before you start answering Kira's questions. Ken, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Very good, Ken. Go ahead with your comment or question.
I wanted to find out if I'd like to do the greenhouse for 3 years.
Okay.
Will I be charged extra due to tear and wear, or shall Diamond cater for that?
Okay. Thanks, Ken. All right, very many questions there. Edwin, let's start with the first question from Kira. What sets you apart?
Strategic land investment approach is our focus in the market, be it on the buy and build front or just a normal land buyer, call it the normal speculative land buyer who needs probably to bridge the gap with the agribusiness. I've grown up buying land, previously as a banker and now as a realtor. And what used to really, what really used to disgust me at that particular time is we used to buy promises that buy this land as it is right now, we will later on do for you water, we will do for you the perimeter wall and probably road. 2 to 3 years down the line, yes, the land is still mine, yes, but it's still in the same condition it was in then, and it's still lying there idle. Nobody comes back to me to tell me, now listen, you can do 1, 2, 3 things on this land to make money out of it. I'm an investor, show me the ideas, make it a side hustle for me. So what sets Diamond apart from the rest is we are not only just selling to you land, but you're selling to you a real-time solution to an existing problem, which I've just mentioned earlier. Number 2 is our approach to customer focus. I mentioned earlier we owe the trophy to our clients. Remember, people don't buy the prices nowadays. When Jen came in first, there has to be something that wowed her, that made her bring in even her friends. The customer service into keen details. So we want to treat you as the king that you are, as the queen that you are, so that you can go home knowing very well that I'm safe with this brand. And as you mentioned, most of the people came to buy Phase 2 when she was there were actually our previous buyers. So whereas we are busy advertising, we also know that we still have the mileage from our current buyers. There's nothing as good as a happy buyer. They'll come back and buy over and over, and we still intend to build on that going forward. So that's what you're doing in the market.
All right. Estelle, how long will it take to get a title deed? That's from Kira. And are there any hidden charges? I think this would be easier if you just break it down from point 1. Say I've already sent the word Kilimo to 22002. When the first person from Diamond Property Merchants calls me, what is the process from there up until the time when I get my title deed?
Okay, thanks for that. First of all, when you send the SMS to the code, as I said earlier, we'll call you back, and then we'll take you to site, you'll book the plot, and then you'll start making the payments. Immediately you click 10% of the payment, we will draft a sale agreement for you, which you will come and sign. And then upon completion of payment, that is when we issue you with the transfer and consent documents for us to enable us to transfer the name, the title deed to your name. Okay. Because currently it is under the name of the company, and then we mutate into subdivisions, that is the individual plots. Okay. And then from there on, when you sign the transfer documents, we take them to the land spot and they transfer to your name. Okay. Yes.
Are there any hidden charges? Once when you've mentioned booking, how much am I supposed to pay for booking? You said 10,000?
Yes, 10,000 is for booking.
And then I'll come and view the land.
Yes.
If I don't like it?
It is non-refundable. Because we have spent a lot of money advertising and you blocked that plot off the market. Okay. So we'll spend more to bring other guys to see the land. So that's why it is non-refundable.
But you can shift my plot for me, right? If there are many pieces of land I'm assuming, so if you propose one, I can always say no, I prefer that one.
Sure.
Actually, by the time you're putting your 10,000, sorry for interrupting, by the time you're putting your 10,000, you're not putting it before seeing. You must be there. I've seen, this is what I think I like. So I want it to be reserved for me, so I'm reserving it to 10,000. So let's go back and do documentation. Now, in between documentation, very few things can change in between there to probably lead to you changing your mind.
So first, once I've booked, once I send the word Kilimo to 22002, then you take me to the piece of land. And then once I confirm that, I pay 10,000 for booking. If I can't afford the rest of the money, you have your financial to help me pay for it. And after the first 6 months, I start earning my 200,000, regardless of whether there's market or no market.
Great. Don't worry about the market. Insured. Definitely.
Okay. The other question Kira asked was interaction with customers, and I want to bring in Jane on this. You were there earlier on. What was the experience like?
First, to take you back, I remember when I booked with my 10,000, which I didn't have, I had to source from friends. Actually, when I arrived at the scene, it is so exciting. So I started looking for the 10,000, and I made my mind that I'm going for this. So when I booked a plot that was 390 something, that was not commercial. Then, after we left, the following Monday, while I was interacting with them, whether the plots were taken, all of them, I discovered the plots were still left. Some of them were still left. And I changed from 390 to another one, 490 something, which is and it was it had a difference in payment of 50,000. But I chose because of the way they have the planning of the place is so good, because even if you don't want greenhouse tomorrow, I realize you can also do something else considering the place is gated. The other question was
with the customer interaction. How was the experience with that, interacting with the other people?
It was nice. It was nice. I'm one difficult customer. You promise you must deliver. I'm one difficult customer. And from the time I dialed that short code to the time I was called to go and pick my certificate of ownership, which I think was last week, but one, I am okay. I didn't know them before. But so far, so good as a customer, I'm comfortable. I'm waiting the last phase now, which I'll enjoy the yields of maybe what I planted in that plot.
Before you come in, we have another call online. Good morning.
Morning, Trevor.
Yes, go ahead with your comment or question.
I just wanted to find out, are we only talking about tomatoes?
Yes.
Or are there other crops that could be planted in the greenhouses?
Yes. And
again, is there a fixed time span for this whole project? Or, is there a recommended period, 5, 10, 15 years? For how long can we be doing this planting of tomatoes and selling them?
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Andrew wants to know if you can have a variety of crops there, or whether there's a fixed time frame. But before that, Ken wanted to know if we can have a greenhouse for over 3 years.
Yeah, perfect. I want to combine the two, Ken and Andrew, but there was another question that was left out about interaction. Just let me take a minute to add that.
Absolutely. Kira wanted to know how does that happen.
When you come to buy in, you're actually making neighbors, lifetime neighbors. These are other investors. So there are different forums. The first one that's coming up very soon is the title issuance ceremony. We won't just call you as Trevor to come and pick your title from the office. You're doing a cocktail event where you guys will come in, exchange ideas, and probably as you get to pick your titles. Of course, we'll have the other one when it comes now to the check issuance, because you guys are now clustered into groups. People who planted in the month of August will be paid at the same time 6 months down the line. So you have all those events coming in. Let's come invest. Let's come interact even as we get our funds. So what next? What else can we do as investors? Because we are neighbors. Now coming back to the question about the first one for Kira was how long. Our contract currently with the service provider is the mother contract is 3 years, and for 3 years we assume so much would have happened. One, the land would have appreciated, the place would have opened up. Some of us might want to convert into residential homes, and the plans are already there. So after 3 years, of course, we'll come back and sit down together and agree. Do we still need to proceed with the agree? Is it good enough for us to proceed, or do we flip on the page and start construction, or rather creating homes? We've just seen there's huge demand for housing, so it might be the next tenants within Nairobi in the next 3 years, because we've already made more money towards building. If not, if you still want to make more money from agri and all of us agree we want to continue farming, of course you continue farming. in terms of the other question of do we just do tomatoes? Agronomical is not even advisable to do the same crop over and over. You must crop rotate. Crop rotation is what you practice in there. So as I come in as a first-time buyer, I'm either starting with tomatoes, capsicum, or cucumbers. This is what you currently have a market for. So if I took tomato season 1, it will take me between January to June, July, thereabout, before I approach tomatoes. So I'm crop rotating with either cucumbers, which is a short season crop, or capsicum, which is probably slightly long term. So I'm moving for the next 6, 7, 8 months with a different crop. So is the market available? Yes, the market is available for all of them. For the sake of consumption and just breaking down the concept, I like using tomato because that's what I personally did first in my season 1. So I understand how I maneuver through it.
All right, and the other question that Jen already alluded to this is that the interaction there is quite intense, but what are the future plans for this? And you just mentioned that real estate, but the immediate future plans, because we have 3 years on this, and how many more units do you have left? Because Jen also said that quite a number of people are repeat buyers. So if I want to buy now, is it a guarantee that I'll get more?
Okay. People, many times we've asked in the market, so is Diamond property? I go to church and they're like, I'm from Diamond. Oh, the one for greenhouse. I want to shed some light on that. Greenhouse farming or agribusiness is just part of the value add that you've given you. I wish one day we'll be saying, oh, the one that does affordable housing. Because we have 3 arms of investment. Number 1 is high-end apartments and mansionettes. We currently have 2 blocks coming up along Kiambu Road, one along Kiambu Road, one along the super highway, and that is purely super duplex deluxe apartments coming up, because we understand the real estate is wide and there's huge demand for housing. We want to be that brand that will help you own that home, of course, in a better way, in a nice environment. The second approach is affordable housing. We just mentioned earlier, based on the fact that most of us have been buying this plain land and speculating on it, we've created a problem. The problem is the housing prices are still shooting up, because even that new developers coming into the market, there's barely any land left for home construction, and if there is, it's too expensive. And as a matter of fact, the house that will be developed there, be it small or big, it will be expensive. You know, right now the average cost of an apartment, or purchasing an apartment within the outskirts of Nairobi, is probably 6 to 8 million thereabout. I like using Nyayo high-rise apartment. If I purchase a 3-bedroom apartment in Nyayo high-rise today, it will cost me around 7 million. If my bank was to finance that through a mortgage, I'll be paying the bank a cool 80,000 per month, and that is even after the review of interest rates. If I decide to rent that apartment to Jen will only be giving me 35,000 per month. Then someone will ask, I'm paying the bank 80,000, my tenant is paying me 35,000, so does it make sense as a real estate investor? Am I better off taking that 7 million to bonds, or probably can I just, buy something different that guarantees me probably higher returns? So we've actually looked around that, and we still want to guarantee you that you can still invest in real estate, but in a different way. So we have a second approach that we call affordable housing, where you have a piece of land and you have the plan and the structure on it. You might not need to worry and care about, just like the agribusiness, you don't need to know about the agronomical bit of it. Now for the buy and build, you might not need to worry about who is the fundi, how many bags of cement, the structure, the plan, the approval. All that has been done for you. All you need to do is just buy the land and then come and choose on a house, because the plan is already available, from a 2-bedroom bungalow to a 4-bedroom mansionette. So get to choose. I think this is what I want as per my pocket, and the most affordable bungalow 2-bedroom there is 1.5 million. So you're buying land at 1 million, and that is in Kamulu. If you go further in Joska, we have the same plan, but the land is a bit cheaper, 600. So if I took you to Joska, you're buying land at 600,000, and for it was 1.5 million, making the total cost 2.1. You're an owner, or you're a proud owner of a 2-bedroom bungalow in your own fence, with your own title. You can choose to do whatever you want in there, create that driveway, put a small swimming pool on the side there, get it community control development. So part of solution provision to the market is, we have the high end covering for the high-end homeowners. We have the middle income earners, the affordable housing. I can own a home for as little as 2 million. Trevor, take me to anywhere in Nairobi where I can own a home for less than 5 million. and I'll buy it. None. Literally. If most of us who are potential homeowners, you go to a bank and you're asking your banker, with my current pay slip of 120,000, what is the best amount I can qualify for, be it a loan or a mortgage? And you'll be told 4.2. And you're left wondering, this is a 4.2, where will I get a house worth 4.2? Yeah. I guess I'm a perpetual renter. Let me just go and rent out because that's the best I can do. Well, if you're out there, I want to tell you that through our affordable housing, it is indeed possible. Pay us a visit. Just text the word Kilimo to 22002 and we can start the discussion. Start somewhere.
All right. Estelle, how have you managed to deal with brokers? Because the other thing when it comes to land buying is brokers. Someone will always come up, and there's someone like me maybe will go to someone and say, you know, you had me talking to the Diamond guys, right? I can get your piece of land. And then that becomes an issue and people are swindled or everywhere.
Okay. Actually, it is the people we interact with are the ones who give us their experience with brokers. So they are very shy at first when they come to us because they've been robbed. Like for example, there's a guy who came to me and he told me that he was sold to a car only for him to be told to get out of it on traffic because it was
somebody else's.
Yes, it was somebody else's.
Yeah.
So we've tried to minimize these things because we try to tell our clientele that it is good for you to go and purchase land from a recognized company, one that has established itself over time, like us, because you will avoid all these drama that come with brokers. And we also don't encourage people to come to us and bring us clients as brokers. We really want you to come purchase with us as a client because we don't want that push and pull in between.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is how we have managed to.
So just to be clear, I should not pick anybody else's call unless I have first texted the word Kilimo to 22002.
Yes.
Kilimo to 22002 will bring you directly to Diamond Property. The next person, in fact, when you text Kilimo to 22002, you get a return message with our contacts. So should there be anything else, you know exactly you have a contact to Nairobi branch, to Thika branch, and to Tawala branch.
Okay, so I can verify that contact. Once I get that text back, then the only numbers that should call me is supposed to be the ones that are there. Anybody else should be just out.
Yeah.
All right. And Jane, how did you get into this? Did you come in with a group or is it just yourself? And are you intending to bring in your group? Because I know the ladies always have very many chamas.
Yeah, when I heard about it through media, the first person I called was a close friend of mine called Judy, and I wanted us to go and exchange ideas and the view of what we were seeing. So Judy accompanied me and we went and saw the whole concept. My intentions, I have a group we are a group who came together as cousins. We've been raising money, and it's just that phase 3 is almost going up to the head, and we wanted to pull the other people in the group who have not been able to raise the amount we are trying to raise. My intention is we go there as that group. We buy each and everyone a piece. We don't want to go as really as a group because it's not really registered. It's like a family group.
Yes.
But the intention I have is that we go there, we buy the pieces of land together, all of them, like they'll be in one block.
Then subdivide within yourself.
Yes, then we pull up whatever we will wish to do and agree. And this is coming very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, there's something unique that Jen mentioned that is really a challenge to the market, mostly to you and me, the gentlemen. 60 to 70% of our buyers are actually ladies, and that research shocked me. From time before, we've known land to be a gentleman's piece. From the days of inheritance and all that, it's been there. But coming to the recent research that most of those who've been buying land for investment purposes are ladies, that's really encouraging. It tells you that ladies have now come out of the shell and they're really empowering themselves through investment such as this. And also the other unique thing, and also the age brackets. Most of them are actually young people. We have a group of young people from the uni, I think it's the University of Nairobi, who bought over 10 plots. So they've been saving as a group. Then they came in and realized, you know what, we want, but this is how much we have. So every month they could raise like, I think 150 each, giving 10,000. I told them, rather than putting that money in a bank, so how many plots do you want? You want X, okay, this is yours. So when that 150,000 comes in every month, just transfer to Diamond. In the meantime, this is yours. So the other young groups out there, they're wondering, can we get in good? If you've been saving that money and putting it in merry-go-rounds, there's a better plan for that money, and you should start probably thinking. You can start by one. Probably with a greenhouse. If I'm doing the agribusiness, that greenhouse might become your future returns. Don't just save the money in merry-go-rounds. We have a plan for you. So please talk to us, 22002 Kilimo. Talk to us and we'll give you a better use for that money. Alright, Estelle, we're running out of time here, but I want to give you some closing remarks really fast, like 5 seconds. What would be your rallying call to the youth who are thinking, well, I have my 740,000, lakini sinaweza nunua ile Subaru yangu badala hii shamba?
Thank you. What I would urge the youth is, you're never too young to start investing, and it is as easy as just the first step. When you get yourself into investing, you will really do it. And with the kind of products that we are offering, they are very flexible in terms of payment, and they will give you solutions in terms of even a side hustle. You don't have to quit your job or jeopardize your job